second documentary you've made, the other one with Clay Porter, but would you do another one? Like in this day and age, there's not many people tackling this longer form content. It's not an action-packed edit, it's not Death Grip 2 like Brendan did, with the attention spans that everyone have. Like, talk to the challenges of pitching these things, getting the support. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I decided to do this, I didn't tell anyone I was working on it. I just sort of started slowly gathering archive footage from wherever I could. I started interviewing the guys in the film over, like I interviewed Glenn O'Brien, like it's at the start of 2023 it was. And then I had that, he kind of talked through the whole film, and that was the story I wanted to cover. And then as I was getting the archive footage, I was slowly feeling out the story, and then I was arranging to interview other guys as well. So I took my time with getting all of the support story where people were talking about it. But then, yeah, as you said, it's a challenge knowing where this is going to live. And I didn't have anything lined up with Red Bull. I got the film finished, and then I was like, I actually spoke to Clay. I was like, what did you do for Death Grip 2? And he said that it was a real challenge with distribution, and he wouldn't really recommend going down the route he went because it was just so difficult. But then he sort of said, Danny Grant at Red Bull, he was working at the Orchard when we were doing Won't Back Down, and he's working at Red Bull now. So he said, see what if Danny wants to take it off you. So I got in touch with Danny, and after a few weeks, we sort of had done a deal that he was going to have it on Red Bull TV, which I could not believe. And he's not even Irish, and he loved the film. I think as we talked about, it kind of resonated with everybody. Has gone through this story growing up. If you grew up with bikes, this is a story for you, because it talks about hardship. It talks about the impossible challenges. And I think that will break through the attention span that people have now, the short attention span, like the dopamine hit, scrolling. If you get locked into this film from the start, I think you will really enjoy it, no matter where you're from in the world. It will strike a chord, I think.
Yeah, well said. No, I couldn't agree more. It just has that all-round story. It is like the Irish underdog story. Well, I guess underdog as like a generic term, and then the Irish component. And yeah, it does strike a chord. Well, I'm stoked for you. But speaking of hardships, like, what does it look like? They say to eat an elephant, it's just one bite at a time. Like how,
Yeah,
like it seems
exactly.
overwhelming and daunting to try to put all that together. But it sounds like when you got the interview from Glenn, there was like a timeline, and then you start piecing these things together. Like, so you started in
Exactly.
2023.
Yeah. So I interviewed Glenn in, I think, February 2023. And then I started to get in touch with filmmakers from Ireland. I had a bunch of Andy Young stuff that I used for, I think for Won't Back Down, I used some of his stuff. Or I certainly had his tapes anyway. And then, I got in touch with Ralph Schupp, who's the YT filmer. He was able to give me some stuff of Ushin at World Champs. And then Peter Purfield, who was around in the 1990s in Ireland. And then I had Max Randall from Sleeper helped me out as well. And a bunch of other guys as well. Sorry if I can't remember their names now, but there was so many people who contributed to this. So it was just like ticking the boxes. I have that covered, I have that covered, I have that covered. And then combined with my own footage to fill in the gaps. The story, I'm not going to say it sort of just fell into place, but I could definitely see the light at the end of the tunnel, that there's something here. And then basically before I knew it, I had a 65-minute documentary ready to go.
And
So,
how many total hours of footage would you say you went
oh,
through? Just like a guess, napkin guess.
oh,
What are we talking?
hundreds,
Yeah, I was imagining
probably 200 or 300 hours of footage, I'd say.
that you've got to comb through.
Sift out. Like I was literally scraping the bottom of the barrel at some points. Like all that stuff from like 99, 2000, like there was just bits. Like if there was a barrel of footage, you might get one cup of footage out of that barrel, and you had to just. Well, because I was there for a lot of it, I kind of knew, and a lot of the stuff I recorded myself, I knew the moments that I had to try and dig out, and But yeah, like not a huge amount of footage to work with, certainly for the early stuff.
Yeah, no,
But having
totally.
all that stuff from Snowshoe when the boys were first and second, that was sleepers footage, and
Yeah, but
I
I
just
think the
asked them.
modern day stuff's easier to get, right? Like there's enough filmers
Yeah,
there, the quality's gonna be good. You like
yeah,
it's gonna look good.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's the
Yeah,
old stuff and it's
that was a challenge trying to get the old stuff to sort of match in with the new stuff. But I think people realize that it's old, and it kind of gives a nice charm. I think
yeah,
the
yeah,
old
yeah.
crappy quality,
No,
if
I love it.
full,
It just
if it was full
takes you back
HD,
in time, you know?